Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. The Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news, and Dolores County Broadcasting Network provides the support for DCTV.
Here at the News at Noon show, we assemble the best and most interesting news from the area, and with Jerry Tope on the weather, we provide local and regional weather forecasts. Give us a call with news tips or topics you'd like to see covered. The number is 677-4119.
We appreciate that you're watching DCTV. Today's show is live on Tuesday at noon and rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8 p.m. and again re-aired on Friday at noon, 2:30 and 8. Today is September 13th, 2016. Now let's get to the news. Reported in the Cortez Journal, some confusion arose on social media in recent days because a man arrested in connection to a vehicle theft and chase was using an alias. The man arrested last week after leading deputies on a high-speed chase near Silverton has been identified as Christopher Bagwell, 21, of Clovis, New Mexico. Durango police initially identified Bagwell as James Lampley, but confirmed Monday that the name is an alias Bagwell has used on more than one occasion. Bagwell and his wife, whom police identified as Amanda Davalos of Tucson, Arizona, allegedly stole a white 1996 Ford van from a construction site at 3416 Main Avenue on September 5th. San Juan County Sheriff's Office deputies later received a report of a drunken driver near a Silverton campground. Bagwell was driving the vehicle with Davalos in the passenger seat, deputies said, and when they tried to flag down the vehicle, it sped away. The van went off the road on U.S. Highway 550 and hit a tree near milepost 62.5. Bagwell was taken by ambulance to Mercy Regional Medical Center before he was booked into the La Plata County Jail. Davalos was airlifted to the hospital. She subsequently was reported as missing, and according to the Durango Police blotter, she was spotted Sunday afternoon in a waiting room at Mercy. Police did not have any information about Davalos, only that she is thought to be in the Durango area. Lieutenant Ray Shoup said, "We're looking for her right now to interview her in connection with this case." Bagwell remains in custody and faces felony charges of first-degree motor vehicle theft.
According to the Durango Herald, a school bus carrying high school football players veered off a roadway and slammed into a concrete pillar at Denver International Airport, killing the driver and injuring 18 passengers, some seriously, officials said. The bus had just picked up arriving members of the Legacy High School football squad Sunday afternoon and was circling back to the airport when it crashed. Airport spokeswoman Stacy Stegman told the Denver Post that the bus carried 28 students and 4 adults. The female driver died at the scene, police spokesman John White said. 10 people were hospitalized and 8 others treated and released, officials said. The Post reported 15 students and 3 coaches from the suburban Denver school were injured. Officials at Denver Health told KUSA TV, KUSA TV station that they have 5 patients, 2 are in critical condition, 2 are in serious condition, and 1 is in fair condition. The Post reported that 5 patients in fair condition were taken to Children's Hospital, Colorado. Police have not released any information on the cause of the crash, which occurred at 4:08 p.m., and White said they don't know why the driver was returning to the airport after picking up the team. The driver's name and age have not been released. Uninjured students gathered with parents inside the airport. Police interviewed the football players about the crash. Legacy High School is in Broomfield. The Post reported that the football team from Legacy played Chino High School on Friday night in California. School officials told the newspaper that some of this week's homecoming events were being postponed, including a Powder Puff football game that was planned for Monday evening, while crisis team will be at the school Monday to help students.
Reported in the Durango Herald, a bipartisan group of senators on Monday introduced a measure that would expedite reimbursements to entities affected by last year's Gold King mine spill. Colorado Senators Michael Bennet, a Democrat, and Cory Gardner, a Republican, joined Orrin Hatch, Republican, Utah, Martin Heinrich, Democrat, New Mexico, John McKay, Republican, Arizona, and Tom Udall, Democrat, New Mexico, in endorsing the measure, according to a news release. Gardner, who is the original sponsor of the legislation, said the EPA is responsible for the Gold King mine spill, and therefore I'll fight to hold the agency fully liable and to the same standard as a private company. I'm proud to be a lead on the bipartisan group of senators whose constituents have also been affected in demanding accountability and transparency from the EPA and fighting to ensure all outstanding costs are addressed. In a prepared statement, the senators said they hope to push the EPA to cover costs incurred beyond October 31st, 2015, which the agency said it would not do, barring extenuating circumstances. The measure would require EPA to pay all costs eligible for reimbursements unless the agency proves that the amount is not consistent with what it is mandated under federal law. If approved, EPA would have 90 days to pay out claims and give notice whether the agency will pay within 30 days of reaching a decision. It would also establish a water quality monitoring program, which the EPA would reimburse local agencies to operate. Reimbursements to entities affected by the Gold King mine spill, for which the EPA has taken responsibility, have trickled in since an agency contracted crew released a massive plume of mined wastewater more than a year ago. The spill affected water quality in communities throughout Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah, as well as the Southern Ute Indian Tribe and Navajo Nation. According to EPA records, the agency has paid more than $5.2 million in costs associated with the August 5th blowout, but local agencies say outstanding costs remain unpaid. Local companies and individuals impacted by the spill also are caught in the EPA's waiting game for reimbursements. As of July, the EPA received 68 claims for financial reimbursements, yet the agency has not made any awards. The EPA has maintained it must conduct all reviews and investigations before awarding grants for financial damages. It was unclear Monday what the 68 filings totaled in cost amount. However, a response to a Freedom of Information Act request filed in October, when there were just over 30 filings, showed claims of financial damages surpassed $1.3 million. Those who believe they have been financially damaged by the EPA-triggered event have until August 5, 2017 to file a Form 95, the claim process for financial reimbursements from economic loss caused by wrongful U.S. government actions. EPA declined comment to the paper for this story.
According to the Durango Herald, as part of a statewide campaign to crack down on driving under the influence, Durango police reported 19 DUI arrests between August 19th and September 6th, with 6 of them occurring over Labor Day weekend between September 2nd and September 5th. The Heat is On campaign encourages increased vigilance during periods such as holiday weekends when impaired driving is more prevalent. During this year's Labor Day crackdown, 103 local and state law enforcement agencies across Colorado reported 964 drivers arrested for DUIs in that time frame. No other local or regional data was immediately available. 25% of the alcohol-related fatalities in 2015 occurred in August and September, said Colorado State Patrol Chief Colonel Scott Hernandez. Considering the Labor Day enforcement overlaps these 2 months, it was critical law enforcement be on high alert. We hope the efforts of these statewide agencies saved lives over the holiday, he said. The Aurora Police, Colorado State Patrol, and Denver Police reported the most arrests with 126, 107, and 105 citations respectively. On Monday, the Colorado Department of Transportation launched a free smartphone app, Are You Buzzed?, that calculates blood alcohol content based on weight, time drinking, and alcohol consumed, and helps users access ride services such as Uber and Lyft.
The latest Hollywood on-location scenario for Colorado sets the stage for filming in Colorado Springs with Jane Fonda and Robert Redford, starring in the Netflix movie Our Souls at Night, based off Kent Harrouff's novel of the same name. Several historic homes in Old Colorado City are being converted into movie sets, and yesterday crews descended on the town to prep for the shoot. Fonda and Redford are both expected to be on location for this part of the shoot. Security will likely be on hand to prevent interactions with our locals, but you might be able to catch a peek at some point. Road closures are also expected around Pikes Peak and 12th, but the exact time of those closures is unknown. Colorado Springs is not the only place crews will be filming. On September 17th, they will settle into Florence, according to City Manager Mike Patterson. Quote, they actually turned down bigger incentives that they could have gotten from Utah or New Mexico, Patterson told News 5 in August. Colorado gives them incentives too, but not as big as those 2 states, but they wanted to go for authenticity. It was written by a Salida author. It was about a fictitious town in Colorado named Holt, Colorado. The storyline is about a widow and widower who steal off to each other's houses in the middle of the night for companionship that eventually turns romantic. Several homes are being converted for the movie set, along with all of the ancillary support services. The film crew brings in a short-term cash boom for the area, with a potential for more tourism down the line, as fans of a movie often go to visit the actual actual location where films are shot. The crew is scheduled to continue to film for the next week and a half in the West Side spot. Other shooting locations include 11 Mile State Park in Lake George and several spots in Florence, as mentioned, including the Remember When parade during the 89th annual Florence Pioneer Days. The parade begins at 10 a.m. Saturday. Filming is expected to continue through early November. The movie will premiere streaming on Netflix sometime in 2017.
According to the Durango Herald, for years, mountains of dirty snow scraped from Durango's streets have come to Cundiff Park, its final resting place before melting. But that may change this winter. The city is looking to buy 3.35 acres of open space above the Durango Tech Center. It could be used for snow storage and possibly as a trailhead, Community Development Director Kevin Hall said. The Natural Land Preservation Advisory Board on Tuesday recommended the City Council buy the land for about $375,000. The Council will consider the purchase September 20th, Hall said. Only about an acre is needed for snow storage. Remaining land could be used for bike amenities and for trailheads because it is adjacent to other open space and trails, he said. There should be some opportunities there to have some biking activities, Hall said. The site is already heavily disturbed, so development wouldn't destroy habitat, he said. It is also much further away from the residential areas compared with Cundiff Park, so no one will be disturbed by trucks moving snow in the middle of the night. Residents of Rivergate Lofts, which is across the river from Cundiff, have long complained about truck noise, Parks and Recreation Director Kathy Metz said. It is also much further from the Animas River, which will have some natural water quality benefits, Hall said. And now here's our weather report.
Over the past 24 hours, a low-pressure system in from California is tightening and has strengthened over Nevada. The result is that the moisture traveling over our area has been forecast for a little stronger performance this afternoon and evening than the original. The possibility for 1.5 of an inch of rain from late this afternoon and into the evening hours exists. I can't say as I blame meteorologists for it, but none seem to look back at their success rates or admit to the misses at least. Yesterday was more active than expected. Some snow is in the forecast for the higher mountains through the center of the state today. For our Dove Creek area, winds also will be stronger, with gusty winds up to 45 and some possibly stronger. At this point, the National Weather Service is even less certain than they were yesterday as to what will happen for our Four Corners area over the weekend and into early next week. Both major sources or computer models are in disagreement and have changed significantly from earlier in the week. I am hoping that the lack of a strong steering influence will be better understood by tomorrow, so there will be more confidence in which type of weather we will have for the weekend. Personally, I don't have a lot of confidence in any forecast that I've seen this week as far as the Four Corners goes. Watching the high and low pressure systems that push and pull our weather is like watching an old spaghetti western movie in which nobody won. There's a point at which no one in the room can decide which way to go or whether to stay and fight or run away. So they just stand there and insult each other or both just pass out. So, in our national weather scene, there's a frontal line of showers and thunderstorms moving eastward from the Great Lakes and southern Ohio and the Tennessee valleys and southern plains. It will spread as it moves in to the northeast and mid-Atlantic coast by tomorrow evening, with showers and thunderstorms all along and ahead of the boundary. Tropical moisture will develop showers and thunderstorms, some with heavy rain over parts of the southeast through Wednesday evening. The Gulf states are still getting soaked, and Florida's upper half is where rains are heaviest for now. Moisture over the Gulf Coast states will provide showers and thunderstorms over the Gulf Coast states through Wednesday. The developing low mentioned in our regional forecast over California and the Great Basin will move into parts of the northern Rockies and High Plains by Wednesday and into Thursday. The upper level energy will aid in producing showers and thunderstorms over parts of the Great Basin and southwest into parts of the Rockies that will end for the Great Basin by Wednesday evening, while continuing over the Rockies into parts of the southern plains. Mid and lower 70s are our high temperature expectations for the next 5 days. Lows plus or minus 40. Wind this afternoon and stormy through into late tomorrow with possible clearing Thursday and Friday but models do disagree on this. So tune in again tomorrow and see what the latest guesses are. Maybe all the surrounding systems in the fray will have elected a top dog by then, and some sense of direction will have been determined. Now back to the news.
According to the Durango Herald, when somebody brags about his wine cellar, do you picture a cold, damp, cobwebby underground space that's so dark you can barely spy bottles by the light of your smartphone? If you answered yes, it's time to get with it. Today's versions go way beyond basic wine storage. They're now adult playrooms, man caves, personal style statements, and part of the living environment, like splashy paintings on dining room walls. New wave cellars often feature tasting tables, comfy chairs, lighting worthy of an art gallery, and space-age technology. They even look good without any wine in them. Take the nearly finished wine wall in the New York apartment of the New York Knicks star Carmelo Anthony. It's fronted by a series of glass doors so the trophy bottles inside won't be missed. They especially pop with the help of a strategic backlight to underscore how prized they are. There are no figures on how many people today are storing wine collections, but global real estate company Knight Frank's current wealth report reveals that wine investments by ultra-high net worth individuals is up 241% in the past 10 years. An ultra-high net worth individual, or UHNWI, is a person with investable assets of more than $30 million. Drinking the stuff, of course, is an increasingly popular passion.
I would like to be an ennui. But last week, you may have noticed some souped-up classic cars in the area, reported by the Durango Herald. A parade of classic sport and race cars drove along Main Avenue in Durango and stopped in Dolores in front of the Galloping Goose Museum. The Colorado Grand Tour is an annual charity tour featuring pre-1960 race cars of distinction. The tour attracts entrants from around the world and always includes several cars from the 20s and 30s. Typical makes include Mercedes-Benz, Ferrari, Porsche, Bugatti, Alfa Romeo, Bentley, Aston Martin, Jaguar, Maseratis, and Allard. The event was founded in 1989 by Englewood automotive enthusiast Bob Sutherland. Every September, at the peak of the fall color season, about 85 vintage cars are driven in this relaxed, non-competitive event, covering 1,000 miles through the Rockies in 5 days. The Colorado Grand Tour generates more than $300,000 annually for small Colorado charities and Western Slope towns, as well as college scholarships to graduating high school seniors in those towns. In 2012, they donated $9,600 towards the Galloping Goose Museum roof, said Lou Mattis of the Galloping Goose Museum, home of the Dolores' classic rail bus. Current charities include the Colorado State Patrol Family Foundation, the Robert Sutherland Foundation, Flight for Life, CASA, and medical facilities in small towns. Cumulative donations since 1989 are more than $4 million. The event is run with the cooperation of the Colorado State Patrol. Event coordinator Angie Gretschel said, "It's considered the most prestigious classic race car tour in the U.S. Most of the cars have a racing pedigree, and one is a very rare scarab."
According to the Durango Herald, a statewide online charter school will hold a grand opening celebration today in Durango. Its newest location and a Getting Started event for newly enrolled students and their families. Colorado Connections Academy at Durango opened this year for students in kindergarten through 10th grade and will add 11th and 12th grades in subsequent years, according to a news release. The first Colorado Connections Academy opened in 2002 in Mapleton. The Durango School is authorized by Durango School District 9R. The online learning program allows students to work at their own pace on a flexible schedule from anywhere with an internet connection, according to a news release. The students work with licensed Colorado teachers, and a parent or adult learning coach monitors progress at home. The school is taking enrollments for this school year. The celebration will include remarks about the program, a demonstration of the online classroom, and give enrolled students and interested students and their families a chance to meet faculty and staff. The event starts at 4:30 p.m. at Colorado Connections Academy at Durango headquarters, 150 Tech Center Drive, Suite C and D. The Getting Started event starts at 6:30 p.m. at the Doubletree Hotel, 501 Camino del Rio. Enrolled and prospective students and their families are encouraged to RSVP online at connectionsacademy.com.
It's that time of year again for Cortezians or Cortezers, whichever. The Cortez Journal reports on its own annual Best of Cortez and Montezuma County Awards, which officially has begun, giving locals the chance to vote on their favorite businesses. Voters may select their top choices in categories such as automotive, food and dining, legal, financial, and real estate services, wellness, shopping and entertainment, and professional/other services. There's also a category for best new businesses. The top businesses from last year's awards were selected as nominees, but voters also may write in a candidate. If your business isn't listed, it doesn't mean you weren't nominated, but simply didn't score at the top. Voting ends October 2nd at 5 p.m. Winners will be announced on October 22nd and printed in the Journal on October 28th. The link to register is on our Facebook page, or click on the ad at the top of the-journal.com. Start making your picks and you will be prompted to register. After registering, you can vote for your favorite once per category. Duplicate ballots will be eliminated. Winners will be announced at a live event in Cortez. Businesses that place among the top 3 in each category gain marketing rights to the Best of Cortez logo for a year, a certificate, and 2 tickets to the recognition event.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of September 5th through the 11th. A resident reported a case of theft deputies are investigating. Dispatch received multiple complaints of juveniles riding off-highway vehicles on town streets, which resulted in several warnings. A search and rescue mission was successful in extracting an injured climber on Mount Wilson. Residents continue to report threatening calls that claim they are from the IRS. Residents are welcome to come to the Sheriff's Office for literature on how to guard your personal information, as well as how to report telephone scams. A successful vehicle unlock was completed at a local town business. A town resident reported a strong smell of sewage in town. That's it for today's Roundup. Stay tuned tomorrow for more updates.
And in today's High Country happenings, September 24th, Alternative Horizons, a support and advocacy group for domestic violence victims, will host their 11th annual Wine and Music Fest fundraiser from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Smiley Grounds, located west and behind the Smiley Building in Cortez. The event will feature an extensive wine tasting hosted by Put a Cork in It, hors d'oeuvres by Norton's Catering, live jazz by Actual Proof, and a silent auction. Tickets are $50 and available in advance at Put a Cork in It at 1127 Camino del Rio. They can also be purchased at the door. Visit alternativehorizons.org for more information. September 24th is the Fall Color Ride at the State Line Bar and Grill at the Utah-Colorado border on Highway 491. A day of motorcycle riding departing from the state line at 9:30 a.m. through 200 miles of beautiful southwest Colorado, finishing back at the line for a musical performance by Hurricane Jake's one-man band from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., followed by DJ Martine from 8 onward. The line has a free shuttle and RV parking is available. For more details or to contact them, visit their Facebook page. Thursday, September 22nd, the San Juan Freedom Fest will be held at the San Juan High School practice field in Blanding, Utah, featuring Daryl Worley and Charlie Jenkins. Gates open at 6 p.m. Music starts at 7. Tickets are $10 each, 10 and under free. Sponsored by Farm Bureau Financial Services, SaveBearsEars.com, and the Four Corners Healthcare. For tickets online, visit sanjuanfreedomfest.eventbrite.com. All of the happenings are posted up on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the embedded YouTube replays of the live show and the exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. If you have an event, you can email us at dcbnnews@gmail.com or call us at the station at 677-4119, and we'll be sure to get it on air.
Thanks for tuning in. This program is aired live at noon Monday through Wednesday, then rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8 p.m., and again aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 2:30, and 8 p.m. each day, respectively.
And again, check us out on Facebook. We'd love for you to like us there and spread the word. Today is Talk Tuesday. Our in-studio guest will be Republican District 2 Commissioner candidate Steve Garcher. We hope you'll stay tuned.
For Kendra Cook, Jerry Tope, and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching. You'll see us again tomorrow.
Hi, and welcome back to Talk Tuesday. Today we're here with Steve Garcher, who is running as a Republican for the District 2 Dolores County Commissioner's position. Welcome, Steve. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Kendra.
Thank you, Kendra.
We have matching names here. So today, the first question that I ask all the candidates that come in is to give us a little bio information, so that if somebody out there doesn't know you, might give you a little reference of where you come from. Are you from here or from out of town? Or
I was born and raised here. I have lived in Dolores County for 60 years.
Awesome. And you've been a participant in other parts of the government?
Yes, I have. I am a charter member of Dolores County Search and Rescue. I have been on the Planning Commission since 1995, and I have been on the Fair Board since, I don't know when, a long time ago.
Great. So you've been active in the community. You're also, by profession,
I
farmer?
am what?
A farmer, too?
I'm a farmer in my hobby farmer, and I work in the oil field. I've been there at my present job for 35 years.
Okay. And so the next question I like to ask is, what made you want to run for the commissioner position?
I think it just became the right time in my life, and I have always been interested in county politics, and decided just to go for it.
Awesome. So given that, you've probably been very aware of what the different issues have been brought to the board so far in the last, you've been following it, being on the planning board.
I have.
So what are some of your platforms on the issues as far as growth, or what sort of issues do you think will be approaching in these next years that you want to be involved in?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that's going to affect us is the federal intrusion as far as the Gunnison sage grouse, the control of the land, of the water, of the resources, and also I think finances are going to be a big factor, as the natural resources have always been Dolores County's biggest income, and I think that they are under assault now, and I think those will be big issues in the future.
So we're looking towards a reduction in what we used to have for budgets that we need to grow some other areas for.
Correct.
That's what it looks like. With that regard, have you found out about the hemp industry and what that might be for the county, or medical marijuana, or changing that in the future? Do you have an opinion on any of that?
I think the county is where it needs to be on that industry, and I am not in favor of that industry at all.
Of the medical marijuana?
Correct.
But of the hemp?
Or the hemp
Or the
either.
hemp? Okay.
Right.
And let's see, what are some other issues? The development of the senior center and the county business shop area. How did you think is that going the way you'd like to see it, or is there anything you would do differently?
I think that those were a wonderful opportunity, a one-time opportunity, and I think that opportunity was seized and done right. I would like to see more planning as far as the access to both those facilities, but I think it's wonderful for the county to get those.
Let's see, what other thing? Farming? Any other farming interests as far as water or anything in the farming development area that would be addressed by the county commissioners in the future? Or
I think just protection of our resources, protection of our irrigation water and of our land rights, and our ability to be able to farm the best that we can.
Do you, having been on the planning commission, was the planning commission for the whole county as well as, or was it just for the town? It's the whole county?
Only the unincorporated areas.
Unincorporated.
And
So not the town at all.
Not the incorporated areas at all, and there is a two-mile intergovernmental agreements within the city, from the city limits out for 2 miles. So in those areas we work with the towns, but we are mainly for unincorporated areas of private property, not public properties.
And so being on the commission, you would be in charge of the entire county, all of the arrangements with the BLM and the Forest Service, and that would be a new relationship for you then.
Yes, it would.
You would know that. And do you have some, I guess you've already spoken to that point pretty much, as far as wanting to maintain our sovereignty, I guess, would you say?
Yes,
That would be
to protect our citizens and our rights.
Are there any other ideas you would have to change things, or keep them the same, or what could somebody expect from you as a commissioner?
I think we're on the right track. We just need to be more involved and have more cooperation with these federal agencies, so that we come out better with the end results.
And I always ask the question too, what is your favorite color?
John Deere green.
John Deere green, which thankfully you did not wear the green, because in studio here we have a green screen behind us, which shows us the lovely background scene of the bean tower, and so if you wore green you would fade into the background, which was, I'm glad you didn't, so thank you for that.
You bet.
So if there are any questions from the viewers, the phone number is open. It's 677-4119, and I'll be glad to have any questions for Steve that you'd like to ask. Let's see, what other sort of projects are under the auspices? I guess the recent festival special permit thing was something that came up with the land use for different temporary issues. Is that something you're familiar with or had followed a little bit?
Yes, those are existing state rules and laws that need to be followed. And I think that that's why they're there, and if we will just follow the rules, everything will go accordingly and good for everyone.
Go through the process.
Yes, go through the process.
And have you heard about the Colorado Trust coming to the community and setting up the community voice, where they're hoping to bring funding in for the health equity of the community, is what they're calling it.
I have heard that. Yes.
Is there anything interesting on that front?
No, I have not. I have not followed it. I've heard about it.
Heard of it. Okay. That seems like I attended a meeting on last Friday, and it seems like they're kind of moving towards more organization with community members, and hopeful that they will continue to communicate with the commissioners and the other agencies that are already and groups that are already established in town. I hope that
communication is a good thing. It
Yes.
solves a lot of problems.
That's what we hope here at DCTV, to hope to produce some more opportunity for people to come and talk and share their opinions and get the information out. So, Can you think of anything else that you'd like to tell your potential voters why to vote for Steve Garcher?
Well, I have lived here for 60 years. I cannot imagine living anywhere else, and I would like to see Dolores County continue to be a good place to live, to raise our children, and just a good place to live, and I would like to work towards that.
Great. So everybody come out on November 8th and make sure you're registered, or the mail-in ballots, and find out about the candidates. There's also, I've been told the Senior Center is going to have a question and answer on the 29th.
On the 29th at noon, and all the ballots in Colorado now are mail-in, and they will go out the first week in October. So as soon as you get your ballot, you will have at your convenience to mark your ballot and then either mail it in or return it to the clerk's office.
Right. So that's important, not to lose it, and to pay attention to all the issues and all the candidates that are on the regional and state, the congressional competition between Tipton and Schwartz, and then the state senator Colorado position as well. So there's
Yes.
a lot to pay attention to this year. Well, great. Well, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it. This will be on the Facebook page, so
Thank
other
you,
people can
Kendra.
watch it at their leisure, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the 29th in Cajon, too. So that'll
Okay.
be great.
Thank you. Thank you very
All
much
right.
for this opportunity to come in and speak.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. That was Talk Tuesday, and we'll be back again with the news live at noon on Wednesday.